The other day, I was having a conversation with my dad, and we were pondering this question right here. The question, why have we started to treat life like a joke? And I think one of the biggest facets of this that makes my heart hurt is the fact that we've turned tragedy and straight up atrocious things into memes, jokes, reels, TikToks. If you look on your TV, you look on the news, you look on your phone, you will see, it's not a matter of if, you will see terrible things happening in our country, in whatever country you may be in other countries in the world. You will see terrible, horrible things happening. But then you open your phone to social media 10 minutes later and you see some dumb AI generated joke or TikTok about it. And I think that's such a terrible thing that has invaded our society. Now, when I say these things, don't mishear what it is that I'm saying. I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. What I'm saying is that we should take accountability for what it is we consume and what it is that we let go into our eyes and what we let go into our brains. Because I think when we don't take accountability for those things and we just let this stuff slide by, we just laugh at these cruel jokes. And the result is that we get desensitized. We start to care less. And then when we get desensitized, whatever tragic thing was funny last week isn't funny this week. And then the standard for what is funny becomes higher. I don't know if I'd call that a higher standard, but the standards and the bounds of what's funny gets pushed further. And then you see even worse things being laughed at and even worse things being, made fun of and us making jokes about those things. Then the standard for compassion hits the floor. It's plummet. The standard for compassion is hitting the floor. It is hitting the floor. We start to care about each other less. We start to love each other less. And then we notice that this not only affects our outward reactions and our outward relationships, but our relationships with ourselves. We start to feel depressed. We start to feel anxious. We start to feel our hearts get hardened and we start to feel us caring less. Sometimes I've heard people say that they walk around and they just feel this cloud over their heads or they feel this darkness over their shoulders. And they're like, man, I'm feeling this way, but I can't wonder why. But it really is about what we give our time and what we give our attention to. And as I was thinking about this and I was really just saddened by it, I realized that laughing at terrible things isn't a new concept. Making jokes about atrocity and death and torture, this is not anything new at all. As a matter of fact, if we go back 2,000 years to the crucifixion and torture of Jesus, they were laughing at him then. They were beating him down and they were torturing him. And the Roman soldiers, they put a crown of thorns on his head. And they were saying, some king this guy is. Look at him now. Hell, king of the Jews. And then even when he was on the cross, they were saying, hey, if you're so powerful and you're who you say you are, get yourself off there now. Call in God to help you now. These kinds of things really aren't new. There truly is nothing new under the sun. So my challenge to not just you all, but myself is that we're more intentional and that we care about what we're consuming. Because the truth is that we can't control what other people consume. We can't control what other people are watching. We can't control what other people are laughing at. We can't control what's going viral. But the one thing that we can control for certain is ourselves. We can control ourselves. We can control what it is that we laugh at. Even if you look at something on your feed and you're like, oh man, that's kind of funny, and your first instinct's to crack a smile, but then say to yourself, wait, let me lock in. This is actually terrible. I challenge you to stop liking the out-of-pocket memes. Stop sending them around. Stop saying, this was absolutely terrible and disturbing. But you know what? If I had experienced this, the homie has to experience this too. Like somebody else has to experience this with me. No, stop doing that. Because if we don't, then it's only going to keep contributing to the problem. It's only going to keep making it worse. And then we'll find ourselves, forget it, square one. We'll find ourselves going to square zero. We'll find ourselves in a continually worse position. Now let's pause for a sec. I want to encourage you all in telling you this, and it's that we don't have to dookie our pants over this. What do I mean by that? is that we don't have to go getting all mad and riled up. Oh, this is so terrible. And don't mishear me. This is terrible. But all I'm saying is, what's the use in being mad when we can be better, right? Why be mad when you can be better? And I'm not saying that we have to walk around like little squares, or that we have to be Poindexters and bow ties and we have to be Little Mr. and Little Mrs. Perfect now. Because actually, you'll find that when your humor gets cleaner, stuff actually becomes funnier. Like, it's crazy when how funny something is isn't contingent on how terrible it is. What you're laughing at actually becomes funnier.